welcome to Run It Back. Lou Will, Michelle Beadle, that's a weird name, and Chandler, who is fresh off of a red-eye. Sir,
man,
what are you doing yourself?
The Sunshine State's not so sunny today. This weather, Lou, brutal.
Cold in Florida?
Oh my God, it's
Don't
40
do this.
degrees.
Oh, he did it.
I thought Florida was skipping the winter this year.
No, it is 40 degrees, and we are dancing in a golf tournament, walking the next 4 days, Bees, with these beat-up knees.
I'd like to apologize for everyone in the negative 20 and below crowd that is currently suffering through this country while Chandler
They're not
whines.
playing golf now, are they, Beetle?
Okay, I mean, it gets worse. Every time he talks, it gets worse. All right, guys, we got some news, and we will get to some hoops as well, but this is interesting. NBA insider Henry Abbott of True Hoop reporting that Giannis was close to firing his longtime agent over his failure to get Giannis traded from the Bucks. He also said that Rich Paul, podcaster and agent, has been talking to Thanasis and wants to represent Giannis. Rich is said to have been making the case that he is the guy who gets star players to where they want to go. Juicy, Chandler. Okay, well, first of all, let's start with Rich Paul getting dudes where they want to go. Yeah, we're buying that, yes?
Yeah, and listen, I think Rich Paul has deserved and worked his way up to have this kind of clout. And when you look at the big agents in the NBA, I mean, it's Jeff Schwartz, it's Duffy, it's Mark Bartelstein, but there's no bigger name than Rich. And so, yeah, it makes sense. This guy has a lot of huge names. And just think about a couple weeks ago, there was the reports on the Trae Young trades, and obviously Washington ended up being where he wanted to go. Now, that's ended up where he was, and that's probably the team that wanted him the most, so that's what we found out in the public, but that's where he ended up, and that's where apparently he wanted to go. So Rich Paul does have that sort of clout. Look about what the most recent article that just came out in L.A. with the whole Jeannie Buss situation where, they were almost, scared or didn't intimidated by his type of juice and clout that he had in that locker room with LeBron and the drafting Bronny and that whole thing. So he definitely, it makes sense. Like he'd be the guy for the job. And if I was a current player in the NBA right now, and it's all leverage, right? All these agents have so many players, but they leverage their other guys and their contracts and their team. And he's got a lot of top dogs. And so it makes sense. To me, the story, though, is Giannis even interested in hiring him or making the switch when he hasn't demanded the trade and he hasn't publicly said he wants out? Why do you need a powerhouse agent to get that done if that's the case? So I think things are going to start happening here day by day. And listen, Rich Paul, again, he started off as LeBron's best friend, high school boy, and he's become one of the more powerful agents in all of sports, not just the NBA. So it makes sense.
Hulu.
It's
going to get good. It's going to get good.
So yeah, it's just a report. So I won't overreact, but it's mixed messaging again, right? Like Giannis is saying that he had never asked for a trade, but as it seems behind closed doors, he's trying to get traded. He's actively trying to get traded. So if this report is true that he's unhappy with his representation and he wants to work with Rich Paul, well, first of all, Rich Paul is a guy, the key word that Chandler just used was leverage. Rich Paul has a lot of clients that he can leverage, that he's been able to get a lot of big deals done for a lot of his big name clients. I don't think that would change if Giannis was to join his roster. But also it has to be clear messaging. We look at Trae Young. The moment that it came out that he and the Atlanta Hawks were working together for another scenario, we had something done in less than a week from that coming out. So with Giannis constantly saying, I don't want to be traded, I never want to be moved, or I'll never ask of these things. But at the same time, you can see him on the court unhappy, booing back to the fans and all of these things. Give us a clear message. As fans, as media, as everybody on the outside looking in, give us a clear message, because if I'm your representation on the inside, I got to admit that I'm a little confused about the messaging as well. And as it pertains to Rich Paul, Giannis has to hire him like today if he wants to do that, because it's going to take 7 days for that to kick in, and the deadline is on January 6th. So if that's something you want to do, it takes 7 days to change over, and then you have the deadline working against you. So that gives Rich Paul 48 to 72 hours to even make this happen. if any of this report is deemed to be true or has some legs. And so at this point, I don't know what to make of it. I just wish that we can get it over with and it can happen. But, if he wants to change representation, he's officially up against the clock. So we'll see what happens.
You know why I like it too? Because this whole timeline, Giannis has been persistent on not asking for a trade, right? And now he has this opportunity to hire this new powerful agent that can just take all the heat, take all the bullets. He can come in there and face the music and be like, you know what? I'm the one that got him out of there, and make Giannis kind of look as good as he possibly can. So it's not the worst idea or situation for Giannis to go and get LeBron James' agent, Anthony Davis agent, Tyrese Maxey's all these big names that we all know. Why not let him come and take the bullets and be the good guy in this situation?
Yeah, Michelle Beadle here, representative for the fans. I would like to say that this is actually going to be a lot worse. Because I would prefer – look, Spurs went through a weird Kawhi thing that was very drawn out, dramatic, and it resulted in like a lot of hatred towards that fan base and Kawhi. This is worse to me because it's shady and it's sneaky and it's sort of semantics of I'm not asking for a trade. Well, your agent, no matter who he is an extension of you. They don't do things on their own. They're not going to move you on their own. So I actually feel like Giannis, in trying to avoid being the bad guy, is making this much worse for himself.
Well, you know what, Chandler? We also know how the game works. Like, some of these stories are planted by whoever side that's trying to benefit from making the other side look bad. We also know this is part of the game too. But I agree with Beadle 1,000%. If you're trying not to be the bad guy, the more and more information comes out, the more and more these reports start to grow legs, it's going to make Giannis looks worse from the Milwaukee fan base. So if I was him, I would have been honest. I would have probably did a sit down or something of that nature, and I would have said everything that I'm feeling. Look, this is somewhere that I love to be. I want to see this thing through. But if it's not and it's run its course, yes, I would like to go somewhere else. And it can end that way, and everybody can be at peace. But again, like Beadle just said, the more sneaky that it feels, the more information that continues to get leaked, and Giannis won't step out and speak to this with clear messaging and what he wants to get across, instead of some of the subliminal things going back and forth and kind of being a little funny a little bit with it. That's going to turn the fan base off, especially with him not being on the floor at this point. Let this team go on a slide. In the course of everything that's going on, they're going to look at Giannis for answers, and they're going to look at him to be blamed as well. So all of this stuff is starting to get more and more messy as the days go by, with him trying not to make it that way, but it is what it is at this point.
And here's the thing. There's been so much coverage and so much media on this whole situation that no matter what happens now, whether he sticks with his agent and gets traded right now at the deadline, or if he hires Rich Paul and doesn't get traded, or whatever's going to happen, there's going to be fans that are going to hate on him. There's going to be fans that are going to burn his jersey. There's going to be fans that are so dramatic, and that's just part of the business, because first of all, they're struggling, they're losing, they're in no way, shape, or form to be in contention to compete for a championship this season, and Giannis is a huge part of that. So this is already, just for months now, this has become such a story that no matter what happens, he's not going to be able to please everybody. And a player of Giannis's stature, he deserves the right to have a team built around him to compete. He deserves to be on a championship team. We're not given more just guaranteed years in this league to play, and Giannis probably has, less than 5-6 years left? He should want to maximize that, and he earned that right to be able to be in this position. And if he wants to get moved, he's getting moved, whether his agent is his current agent or Rich Paul. He's Giannis, and if he says finally and comes out, and I know he's been, with the fans, he's done everything for the organization. He's never publicly addressed a trade. It's getting to the point where you don't almost have to, because we all know you want to leave. You know what I mean?
Come on the show. We got a spot for you, Giannis. Anytime, any hour, any day.
Let's get our boy Bobby on the phone. Tell him to work it out for us.
Just because you didn't go straight Kuminga style or Dame Lillard and agree to, I also feel like that's coming. I feel like a couple more losses, a couple more team meetings, frustrations boiling over. I think the front office is going to realize quick, this isn't forever. This is going to end soon. We're just delaying the inevitable. we got to possibly make a move here as quick as this trade deadline, because I think a lot of guys thought with the stature of him, it was an off-season, the kind of summertime move. It's getting to the point where their season's gone so south that I think it might happen this deadline.
He's going to be a Knick, and we said it 2 years ago. Oh, man, we got to find that footage. We got it on tape somewhere, guys. Never say never, kids. That's what I say. Never say never. Never say forever. You're going to get yourself in a corner.